What is going on, YouTube and casters? It's Frontz here with another Elestrals battle. It's been a minute or two, just had to get some things sorted out and everything, but we have a new opponent here who is rocking an awesome looking Atlantis playmat. I wish I could have that, and it has a couple of these stellar spirits up on display as well. This match, as you'll see, is I do have count of all the spirits from start to finish. It might be off by by one or two towards the end. I still have to figure that one out, but this one's a close battle by my spirit count. We have a very close battle the entire time going down until we get to like the last two turns. But let's start this thing out. My opponent will be the first one to draw and to play first turn. They're going to set 3 cards, which is always scary. You never know. It could be Shield of Achilles, it could be Tsunami, it could be an Earthquake, it could be anything. Then he plays 2 spirits for a Nectar of the Gods to draw 2 cards. Then he is going to, which as you know, draw 2 cards, always a good one to have. Nice to have, especially when you get the right thing. He's going to play Foamy in defense position, and he is going to end his turn. Very few right there, so that cost him, he's down to 17 spirits at this time. I then draw, and I am going to play a Strabbit. I'm sorry, I'm going to play Eruption, which knocks off 3 more spirits unless he's got a Fire Enchanted Elestral on the field, which only makes him expend 1 then. But since he does not have that, he expends more 3. This will put him down to 14 spirits. Then, I'm sorry for the focus and non-focusing. I don't know how to fix that when it comes to Discord. I have it set to non-focus, autofocus, but it doesn't seem to affect Discord. I don't know how to fix that. But I go and I play Estrabbit in defense position. He ends up playing Poison Tipped Arrow, which will knock it down to 2 attack until the end phase. Then I get to pick through 3, and as you can see by my reaction, I'm looking at these 3 cards, and I'm just not happy with what I see in my hand because it's not something I want to pick and just go boom. I'm gonna pick this right now. So I'm just sitting here. What am I gonna do? What do I pick here just to happen? And yeah, as you can see, I'm very animated. Like I'm not happy with the 3 cards I hear. I just say I'm gonna pick this one. I don't shuffle immediately because what I was going to do right afterwards is a Drops of Leaf, which cost me another 2 spirits. So yeah. I have 4 cards in my hand, which is another Drops of Leaf, which is the card I picked, Mount Olympus, and 2 Elestrals. I shuffle everything after the fact because I just was not happy with my hand at all. I had like Drops of Leaf and 2 other cards pull up from draw, and I was like, I'm not happy with this. So I pull those out. I grab 5 because I did that. And of course, he's going to use PTA to destroy my Astrabbit, which they got very heavy with a PTA in this game, which is, I think, a lot of difference. But they do use PTA, which destroys my Astrabbit. They are down to 12 spirits. I am down to 15. So 15 to 12, I have the lead right now. Turn 2, they are going to draw, and they are going to play. They're going to put Aramare in attack position. That is going to be very troublesome as they are also going to put Foamy in attack position. They are going to attack with both, costing me 2 spirits to end there, putting me down to 13 at this time. They are down to 9 as well. Well, they're down to, how much did they have before? They had 12. They're down to 10 or 11. They're down to 11. That's right. So I draw. I play Necruff and attack. Love myself a little Necruff. One of the biggest reasons why I'm in this game is because I wanted to own a Necruff. I draw in attack position, and I go to attack. No, like they're trying to think of a response. I go to attack. They play Shield of Achilles, and puts me back. That drops them down to 9. Down to 9 on the spirit check, and that's all I can do for my turn, unfortunately. So Right now, they're at 9 spirits. I am at 12. Small lead still, but I still have the lead going into turn 3. They draw and they play a Veritaqua right out of the gate, and they attack me for 3, dropping me down to 9 right out of that. So it went from a 9 to 12 game to an 8 to 12, 8 to 9 game. I have a 1 spirit lead going on right now. So not a big turn. Look, my hand is just ever expanded because of that Shield of Achilles and other things. So I draw. I then play Necro again. I play an attack Evermare, knocking it out, but because of Necro's ability, I am also able to take out a spirit regardless of there being a spirit tie, because I'm going to pause this for a second. With Usually with Elestrals, if both Elestrals have the same number of spirits and you have more attack than the other Elestral, if you knock it out, nothing happens. You just destroy the Elestral, no extra spirit expenditure. But with Necroth, regardless of it could be an attack, it could be in defense, whatever position the Elestral is in, if Necroth gets an attack off and destroys that Elestral, it takes 1 spirit with him regardless, which I absolutely love. So that takes care of another one. They are down to 7. I am down to 8. Now on to turn 4. My opponent draws. They play Ambrosia to get 3 spirits back. And then they take back 2 fire and 1 water, which is not a bad thing to do, but they're back up to 9 at this time. Which, if you think about, yeah, you're getting 3 spirits back, but you had to expend the spirit to get it, so you only really, technically, the difference is 2. Now, they do the gutsy play of attacking Foamy into Necroth to use its ability, which, because it has less, it's destroyed, but its ability, if it's destroyed in battle, you get to find a 1-cost water Elestral. Oh my god. No, I'm recording. Yeah. 1-cost Elestral from your deck in defense position. He plays Mustation, which, in my opinion, is a really good card to have. Now, if you pair it up with Galaxia, and you have yourself a pretty good 1-2 punch of Elestrals, but since he does not have a Galaxia in his possession, he ends his turn. And my turn, I play Astrabit. Unfortunately, I start getting the cards to check, but he plays GG, Gorgon's Gaze. So I cannot use its ability. So I attack the Veritaqua, costing him another spirit, ending my turn. He has 5. Yeah, he has 5. I have 7. So now comes the hurt for me. My opponent draws, and then he's thinking, he goes to think, he then decides, which anybody who's playing on these camera games, you gotta make sure you don't you gotta keep your cards out of camera view. Luckily for me, I don't have that problem. But a lot of them I can see the top of the cards. But he does play Foamy. He does expend that Water Spirit, putting Station in attack position. He will destroy the Necroth. And he also will attack me for 1 cost with Foamy since I have nothing on the field. And that will be the end of his turn. Now, I'm going to address something here in a few seconds. Now, as you will see, I'm going to play. I ask what his attack are for both his Foamy and stuff. I will do this. I will play Elechick. Now, I will address this right now. In this moment right here, my opponent plays PTA, which cost him another spirit, but then, which knocks down my Elechick, so it's got 2 attack, or 1 attack, or whatever it is. I think it's like a 1 attack. I think it's 3, takes down 2, becomes 1. So then my opponent decided that they were going to use Mustation's ability, which is to expend the Water Spirit and swap its attack and defense. That only happens on cast. Once you play PTA, we are no longer in cast form. He tried to argue with me that it's on their main phase, which it is, or my main phase, which it's not. Once you play Poison Tipped Arrow, we're no longer in cast. This is you played a moon, we're on to main phase. No more. Like that's not how that works. They wanted to argue with me, and I was like, you know what, fine, whatever. We're just gonna go with this, and that's what we did. So I do search for Hephaestus because that's the only reason another chick is actually in my deck is to find Hephaestus. I don't have Zeus, so Alachek, of course, is the only Elestral at this time that can search for a Divine Spirit in your a Divine Ruin in your deck. So this is probably where the argument stuff is going. Let's continue on. Um, so it did. He did not destroy like it did. Of course, it did not take away from me using. I'm of course trying. I'm reading the actual. I'm reading the actual effect, and they wanted to argue with me that it's both main phases, which it is not. It says on my turn when I draw, not cast, when I draw. If you don't expend that spirit immediately, you're supposed to do that first. If you play PTA, that like you can't do foam, you can't do Mustation's effect anymore. But anyway, so he does. I do like get through this because it's gonna take a minute, and then I do look for Hephaestus, which in this game Hephaestus really doesn't really matter. It is if I do like get a lot of heavy fire cards to start off with. Hephaestus is definitely gonna be a great thing to have. Right now wasn't anything, but I had Elachek. I could have miscast. I actually could not miscast. If it wasn't for the fact that I only had this time Thunder and Earth Spirit still, I probably would have miscast it, misenchanted it just because it is what it is. But I shuffle. I then attack Foamy with the Astrabit. Oh yeah, I attack with Astrabit, destroying it and Astrabit to destroy both of them just to get them off the field. It's sacrifices need to be made sometimes. My opponent this time has two. My opponent has two spirits. I have six. So we went from a 5-7 to 2-6 in one turn. Now they must. My opponent draws, which I don't know what happened here. Somehow they went from 2 to 0, which they did use PTA, so that's why they should have one spirit at this time. So they must have did something because they must have, because I didn't flip the camera fast enough. But they must have expended to draw and expended to draw because they went from 2 spirits to 0 spirits and they're shuffling. So I don't know exactly what they were doing, but they pulled a card and they passed. So I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they did. Is they drew a card. They expended one, which was the final card, with the final spirit for one. Now I play Thunderstorm. I destroy the back card, which was a Shield of Achilles. More, I guess, that's what they said. Yeah, Shield of Achilles. Because like I said, I'm out of fire spirits. I'm down to like the very last bit left. I have barely any cards things left. I play Warmite. I destroy my station. That gives me, I believe, 5. It should be like 5 or less spirits left. They draw. They have nothing. They really had nothing anyway, and that game goes to me. This would be the second win of my Elestrals career. I do not count any games on a DCs or anything on the app or anything. I'll get my thoughts on the app at a later time because in its current form, because it is in beta. But yeah, this was a pretty good game right here. This one went down to the wire. You had just going by spirits count. I've had multiple games where watching multiple games where it's just like a huge lead. But now this one was like down to the wire, and it was like that last turn we went from like very close to I was ahead of them and they were so far behind, and it was something crazy. But that is going to be all for this Elestrals battle. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and my name is Frontz. I will see you guys later, and I'll see you on the next one.